home sweet home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, the window world of Northeast Florida fifth quarter on 1010XL. Presented by Von Rowan Law. Here are your hosts, Ryan the Hacker Green, Leon Searcy, and Coach Campo.
Snap is good. He kicks it up. Sanders' field goal is good. And the Dolphins have beaten the Jaguars 20-17 to start the 2024 NFL season.
Frank Franchi on the call, Jaguars radio, and with that, a very good Sunday evening to you, Jacksonville. It is the window world of Northeast Florida fifth quarter. We are presented by Von Rowan Law here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM with the Pro Bowler Leon Searcy and the head coach Dave Campo. I'm the hacker Ryan Green as the Jacksonville Jaguars fall to Miami today 20-17. There is certainly a lot to discuss. There is a lot of agitation in this city right now about some things that transpired today, and my overwhelming thought as we begin is you let one slip through your fingers. Literally, with the Travis Etienne fumble happen, the game was never the same. Give Miami credit, though. After that play, they were clearly the better football team for the last 20 minutes or so of this football game. As we welcome in the Pro Bowler, Leon Searcy. Leon, tough day at the office, tough loss to begin the year, and I think it really feels like the Jaguars let one get away.
We did. We absolutely did. This is not the way I wanted to start the fifth quarter, quite frankly. All right? I thought this Jaguar team played well enough, especially in the first half, on both sides of the ball. They executed well. They ran the ball well. They protected. They moved the ball, the chains up and down the field. We actually converted on third and short. We got the big yardage, and defensively, we were rock solid. We were absolutely rock solid. Outside of that, what, Coach? That one bubble screen that went for, 39 yards on us? I think our defense held them in check for the most part in the first half.
I thought the defense, Coach, played really well. They just got worn down. I mean, the offense was horrific in the second half. After that Etienne fumble, the offense was awful. And we got a lot to get into, but you're the defensive guy. Ryan Nielsen's first game as coordinator. What did you make of the defensive effort today?
Well, I really felt going into this ball game that this was not going to be a high-scoring ball game, even though they had a lot of weapons. I felt I'd made this comment a number of times on the different shows I've been on this week that we hadn't really seen the Ryan Nielsen defense until the game. And when you watched them today, they were attacking protections. They were using the linebackers. They were using 33. Ventrell Miller was in there. They were using them as pass rushers. They were changing up zone and man combination to try to, negate the speed of their wide receivers. And I thought they did a pretty good job all the way through until really the last two drives when they got run on. Even though they hit a couple of big plays that we could have handled better. I think we made a couple mistakes that we can talk about as we go here. Mm-hmm. But other than the last two drives where they ran the football on us, I felt like we played well enough to win defensively, and I think they ran out of gas a little bit because the offense didn't do anything in the second half.
We got plenty to get into, Leon, with the skill positions, and there was certainly enough of a problem there. I want to talk about your expertise, the O-line. Anton Harrison and Cam Robinson in the fourth quarter were not very good. Anton Harrison struggled big time in many aspects today.
He did, absolutely. I mean, listen, I gave him all the credit in the world last year because him getting out his stance, his progression, getting out his stance, he was always solid. Bent knees, good feet, good angles. And this, whatever reason, he reverted. I don't know if it might have been the fatigue or the weather or he was tired, but he resorted back to some of the stuff that I saw in training camp. Giving up the angles, not kick sliding enough, and you do that kind of stuff, either one or two things. You're tired or you're fatigued or both. And listen, I mean, the weather in Miami is just as hot as the weather in Jacksonville, so that can't be an excuse. I'm just saying that he had breakdowns mentally where he should have been a lot more prophetic with his stance and getting out of his stance than he should have been. That's the reason why he gave up those pressures.
The Etienne fumble is the big story, and we'll get to that. But as I told you guys when we came in, it's so funny how the mood changes. We would have been so happy had Etienne scored on that play because the game's over. Yeah. If Travis Etienne scores, it's 24-7 with 3 minutes or whatever to go in the third quarter. The game's over. The fumble happened, Tyreek Hill 80 yards later, and the Jaguars really never recovered. Yet even after those two things happen, 4 minutes and 22 seconds to go in the ballgame, you're tied 17-17, All right, here we go. Jaguars have the ball, their own 30. A field goal for the Jaguars wins it. Let's go. And the Miami Dolphins absolutely physically whipped the Jacksonville Jaguars on those 3 plays. 2 sacks, a 3-and-out. Jaguars had to punt. They never got the ball back. So the Etienne fumble aside, Jacksonville, you had to gain 30 yards to give Cam Little a shot with 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, and you went backwards 20 yards because your offensive line couldn't block Jalen Phillips.
Well, Coach will tell you best when the offense does something and the defense has a short field. Coach, it's called sudden change. All right, it's called sudden change. That means that the momentum has switched. Now you've got your intensity has to pick up. And I think for the most part, defense, but offensively, listen, I've been on the sidelines where the defensive guys just, hey guys, y'all can't be going 3-and-out, bro. We're getting tired. And that had to be the situation going on there in Miami, that the offense 3-and-out, and Coach has the statistics right in front of him, 3-and-outs. You've got to provide, because the Dolphins do so much shifting and moving and all that kind of stuff, and some of those screens that they were throwing to the running back was to get the line moving left and right, and then they were pounding them up the middle. They were essentially trying to do whatever they could to get to wear that defense down, knowing that our lack of productivity in offense is the reason why they kept going 3-and-out.
Coach, let's get into the fumble. I mean, Travis Etienne, great player, had a pretty good game. That happened 2 years ago. You know, we spent so much time talking about Tank Bigsby's ball security issues last year. You forget Etienne was a fumbler in 2022, which was his first year on the field. And against Denver and London, like the same exact thing happened, right? He was going in for a score, or it might have been the Houston. It was one of the games in 2022. Yeah. He was going in for a score, and it got punched out, and it completely changed the trajectory of the game. That can't happen. Oh, you're year 4 in the league. You're one of the guys on this team. You cannot fumble in that position, and Travis Etienne did again today.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because, we made a big deal of that on this show when he fumbled in 2022 on that inside in the red zone. And the comments we all made, and I know for sure, is that one of the things you tell a running back that when you're in the red zone, everybody is constricted on you. So everybody's going to close on you. If you think you got an open lane, things are going to close quickly down there because people are closer to you. The secondary is closer to you. And they're going to be going for the football. That's their only chance. And after that one he cleaned it up last year. And here it is. Again, the same situation. He's coming clean, and the guy just put his helmet on the ball, and you just can't have that happen. You got to have both hands on the ball when you approach that goal.
I was just going to ask you that, Coach. At that particular moment, at that particular time, as important as that drive was, the touchdown isn't as important as
the ball.
As the ball.
Absolutely.
I mean, it was a hell of a play by the defensive guy.
Javon Holland made a great play.
Absolutely, it was a hell of a play. He
Exactly.
punched the ball right, but at that particular time when you're inside the 5-yard line, the ball is a lot more important than the touchdown. Because if you put those two hands on it, you go down, you get tackled inside the 5. Now you still got the game. All the momentum is like Jaguars. If they score that touchdown, game's over.
Yeah, game is over.
Game is over.
Yeah.
And you take a field goal there.
Yeah.
Don't turn the ball over.
Don't
Hold on to the football, especially down in there.
And look, other than Trevor Lawrence, you think about the dudes on this offense, the guys that have been here 3 years or longer. It's Ingram, Etienne, and Christian Kirk. Evan Ingram, I hope they know that he was in uniform today.
Did he dress?
Because they didn't throw him the ball. I mean, he had 114 catches last year. He had 1 catch for 5 yards today. He did have potentially a drop on a key third down. I mean, I know that there was a nice play there made by one of the Miami DBs. Christian Kirk, Etienne's going to get all the blame. He had 2 drops, man, on third down. One of them was definitely a drop. The other, when you're getting paid what Christian Kirk is getting paid, you got to catch the ball. I mean, you got to catch it.
Yeah, you're right. It was a little outside, but you got to catch that ball.
So Ingram and Kirk and Etienne, it was not a good day for the nucleus, the foundation of the Jaguar offense. And it was a really good day for the rookie, Brian Thomas Jr., and I thought Gabe Davis. By the way, both Gabe Davis, 3 catches, 62 yards. Calvin Ridley today for the Titans, 3 catches for 50 yards. So even though the Jaguars lost, I will be going on social media later on this evening. And for all our friends in Nashville, who gave me so much grief about Calvin Ridley this and Calvin Ridley that and Gabe Davis sucks and this, that, and the other. Well, check mark for Gabe Davis right now. 3 for 62 compared to 3 to 50 to Ridley, but don't even get me started on that. But again, Kirk, Etienne, and Ingram, Leon, you got to be better for the nucleus of the offense.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the rookie shine. Absolutely, the rookie shine. He did exactly what he was supposed to do. He was brought in here to take the top off the defense, all right? And when you take the top off the defense, you tell me if I'm wrong, Coach, the middle of the field should be open.
Absolutely.
Because now they got to roll coverage over to this guy that just got the Jets. And then when the guys had the opportunities to catch the balls, it's unfortunate they had so many drops. I mean, he did his job today, as well as scoring the touchdown in the back of the end zone, which was not an easy catch. Hell of a throw by Trevor.
Great throw.
Yeah, great throw and really good toe touch situation with I thought he did a good job today.
And look, I mean, other positives, and there were a lot of positives. You know, this to me, I was on the 1010XL Jaguars YouTube show with Gus Logue and Tom McManus earlier on, and this is the point I made. We're going to vent until 8 o'clock tonight. And then, Leon, when you hit the airwaves on XL Primetime tomorrow, Coach, when you're on with me tomorrow night for Monday Night Coaching with Campo, we're going to vent tomorrow night, or tomorrow all day here on 1010XL. And I think Tuesday we'll kind of start getting recentered, and Wednesday we're going to do one of these. All right. And you really start thinking about today. Trayvon Walker was very good. Devin Lloyd had one of his better games as a Jaguar. Oluwakin was all over the place. Your free agents, Darby, I thought was terrific. Savage and Armstead, I thought were good. There were positive things, quite a few positive things. Now, this sucks for about the next 48 hours, but I think we just need to get it all out in the next 24 to 48 hours and just reassess come Wednesday because, Coach, there were things to take out of this game from a positive standpoint.
Most of the people around would have taken us 17-17 with 4 minutes left in the game.
Absolutely.
And lined up and let's go. Let's just play this part of the game. That's it right there. And unfortunately, because of the way the game went, we didn't perform in that situation, and they did. So that's the name of the game in the NFL. Let me tell you something. Guys, that team right there, they're going to score a lot of points on a lot of people this year.
Yeah, they are.
They didn't on us. So everybody was saying before this game, I'm excited to see what Nielsen's going to do because if they blow us out, then everybody's going to be right back where they were before. Well, they didn't blow us out. So you got to give some credit to that defensive staff and the defensive players. And then offensively, until the second half, I don't know what happened. But even then, they had the one drive that they fumbled the football. So, really, to be honest with you, there's a lot of positives in this game.
Leon, what was your assessment of Trevor Lawrence?
He was okay. He was okay. I mean, he was pedestrian, to be quite honest with you. 162, one touchdown. I mean, Tua had, 367 on him?
Yeah.
And a couple of touchdowns in the game. I mean, hey, listen, everybody's going to bark out the fact that he's got the contract. He's got to play better. Absolutely. He played average today in my assessment. In the second half, all right? In the first half, I thought he was flawless. We ran the ball. He took his shots. The end zone pass to Brian Thomas was magnificent. All right, the catch was just as astonishing, the toe tap in the back. But I think in the second half, I think offensively, when the tables turned, their intensity, we didn't match their intensity. All right, they brought it because they felt they were in the game. With that fumble, they felt they were right back in the game. And I think that offensively, we just didn't match their intensity. And that's unfortunate. And it was in situations where 3rd and short, 4th and short, we came up short. And, pressure coming on the outside, cut pressures coming on the inside. And the defense was worn out because we had all the 3rd and outs.
Let me say one thing there as well. If you really, and I'm going to rewatch the tape, obviously, but if you look at the first half, the majority of the game was run the football, play action. Run the football, play action. When it got, the only one that they didn't do that was a 2-minute drill where he sat back there and he did a heck of a job in the first half to get him in the field goal range. You get it. Well, in the second half, the run wasn't as good and there was no play action. That's when you got the sacks. So my point that I'm bringing up is our offensive line is a concern. You said it earlier. The tackle didn't play very well. I don't think Cam Robinson necessarily played that well. Inside, I thought they handled themselves okay, but the concern is there. If we have to drop back and throw the football this year to win every game, we're going to lose more than we win, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. We got phone lines absolutely loaded. Paul, Jr., Jonathan, Gary, all you guys hang in there. You'll be up coming up here inside the next 10 minutes. Quickly, I hate to single out one guy on the defense. I thought the defensive effort was very good by and large across the board. Antonio Johnson seemed to struggle today. Now, he's a new starter, right? I mean, Rayshon Jenkins is gone. I know Darnell Savage is also a starter, but Johnson certainly plays a lot. And the thing with me, when I saw 26 out there, he was in position a lot of times. I mean, he was there. Got to tackle these guys, man. I mean, that's part of the deal. You can't just be there. You got to get the guys on the ground. You're the defensive guy. Did Johnson struggle the way it looked to me?
Yeah, he struggled a little bit today. He missed a few tackles. And again, that's the first shot out of the blocks. The guy's a good athlete. There's no reason why he should be missing tackles. So I'm expecting him to make a jump going forward here because, and unfortunately it doesn't help us today, but I expect him to improve. He's got range. He's got speed. He's a physical guy. So I'm hoping that he'll kind of come around here as we go forward. But he didn't play his best today, that's for sure.
We'll come back. We'll give you an offensive player of the game. It is the Window World of Northeast Florida. Fifth quarter, as always, we are presented by Von Rowan Law here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM with Leon Searcy and the head coach Dave Campo, the hacker Ryan Green with you. Jacksonville, we're with you till 8 o'clock. Phone lines are open. Paul, Jr., Jonathan, Gary, you're up first. After that, we'll take your calls all the way up till 8 o'clock tonight. Miami 20, Jacksonville 17. Hey, if you want silver lining, I got two things for you. This is 40-year-old positive hacker, right? I'm no longer 25-30 or Leon 35-year-old negative hacker. I got some silver linings for you. Number one, the Titans blew a 17-0 lead today and lost to Chicago. So they're feeling as rotten in Nashville as we are here this afternoon. And number two, you look at Cleveland right now, the team coming in on Sunday, they are getting boat raced at home by the Dallas Cowboys.
Rough.
Dallas is up 26-3 on the Cleveland Browns. So that could mean a very desperate Cleveland team coming in here in 7 days, or Cleveland just could be bad. We're going to find out next Sunday. But phone calls next. We'll take them 641-1010. A lot more to do with you till 8 o'clock right here on the fifth quarter.
Navy Mutual was created by service members for service members, so we know what it means to serve. Our policies have no active duty service restrictions, so you can rest assured that you're covered no matter your duty station, home or abroad. To go even further, we promise that premiums will not be higher for those who serve in dangerous environments, including aviation, diving, or on deployments. Let us help you protect those you love the most. Learn more at NavyMutual.org.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Dempsey. Here in North Florida, you know that when temperatures go up and your AC goes out, you need help now. Like right now. Like lickety-split. So why not call Lickety Split and get same-day emergency service for your AC? Now, I bet you've seen their trucks all over town because they've got dozens of certified technicians ready to repair not only your AC, but your home's plumbing and electrical too. So when you want it done right, and you need it done right now, call Lickety Split AC Plumbing and Electric.
Hey everybody, Jennifer Marion with Randy Marion Cadillac in Jacksonville here to say hello, and we'd sure like to have your business.
You know what? They're going to love the king of price.
My dad believes in making great deals and having a great selection in stock.
Cadillac XT4s, XT5s, and XT6s, and Escalades.
The all-electric Cadillac Lyriq.
CT4s and CT5s.
Cadillac luxury and selection is just waiting for you.
At Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
And don't forget, tell them Jennifer sent ya.
Want to be up close and personal with the Jaguars as they take the field? Here's your chance to be in the shadows, outside the Jaguars locker room, now called The Vault. Enter today at everbank.com/shadows. One winner and a guest for every home game at Everbank Stadium. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents in 50 United States and D.C. 18 and older. Entry periods for the Shadow Sweepstakes promotion from 8/19/24 to 12/15/24. For official rules and complete details, visit everbank.com/shadows. Sponsored administrator, Everbank N.A. member FDIC.
Follow the Canes as they storm the ACC.
I'm 1010XL's JJ LaSalva, and every week I'll bring you the Miami news and notes you need to know.
The Performance Painting Hurricane Report on 1010XL. Prepare, protect, preserve.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwood. What is a gemologist?
Frank, that's a good question because gemologist is a generic title that can be used by anyone, whether they have any gemological training or not. There's also a graduate gemologist, which is somebody that's taken the gemology courses of the Gemological Institute of America and received a diploma. Then there's a certified gemologist of the American Gem Society. They've received the graduate gemologist diploma, have worked in the jewelry business for a minimum of 3 years, and are tested by examination once a year to re-win the certified gemologist title. There's one other aspect that certified gemologists have that others might or might not have, and that's the accredited gemological equipment to be able to make the right grading calls on diamonds and other gemstones. At Underwoods, we have an American Gem Society accredited gem laboratory that our certified gemologists work in, assuring you the quality and value you deserve.
That's Underwoods, Florida's longest-standing member of the American Gem Society in San Marco, Avondale, the Shops of Ponte Vedra, Underwood Jewelers.
Hey, sports fans, it's Hayes Carlyon from MyBookie. Football is back. Winning season is back. MyBookie's here to make sure you're ready to cash in on the action. This season, MyBookie is pulling out all the stops with incredible promotions like weekly risk-free boosts on Thursdays where you can bet without a sweat. If your bet hits, you win big, and if it doesn't, forget it. MyBookie will refund your wager. But that's just the beginning. MyBookie is giving away hundreds of thousands in prizes with their Super Survivor and Squares contests. Get your entries in now for a shot at huge cash rewards. For a limited time, they are bringing back the double deposit bonus when you're ready to get started. Use my promo code 1010XL to claim a bonus that doubles your money on your very first deposit with promo code 1010XL before you even place a bet. Remember, exclusive giveaways and bigger rewards. MyBookie is the lock of the century. Bet on anything, anywhere, anytime, and make sure your season is a winning one.
The average cost associated with childhood cancer is a startling $833,000. This is Tom Coughlin, and September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. Help the J Fund raise awareness to help our neighbors and community members tackling this devastating disease. Visit tcjfund.org/September for more information.
Hey everybody, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods. Dandy subs and sandwiches. Look, we always want you to think about those great options as you're driving around Duval. But the beauty is, even as I'm dropping pounds, Dandy's got great options for me as well. Told you all about their protein packs, delicious salads that they have out there. They have fruit cups for on the go. You know what they have. Veggie snack trays. You can grab those on the go as well. Perfect, healthy snack. Dandy is the name to know when you're on the go. So stop into a Gate store anywhere around Duval and make yours a dandy, and do it today.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville, putting an extra 60 minutes on the clock. The window world of Northeast Florida, fifth quarter. Presented by Von Rowan Law on 1010XL.
Trips to the right and a shotgun for Trevor. He drops the throw. Looking. Trevor fires for the back of the end zone. And that ball is going to be caught for the touchdown by Brian Thomas Jr. What a throw and catch. He tiptoed along the end line. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
Frank Frangie on the call, Jaguars radio. Brian Thomas, his first game as a Jacksonville Jaguar, finds the end zone. It was also a terrific throw by Trevor Lawrence. That gave the Jaguars early lead. Obviously, they did not hold that lead as Miami came back to win the game 20-17. With Leon Searcy and Dave Campo, the hacker Ryan Green with you on the fifth quarter. Every week here on the fifth quarter this year, we will give you an offensive player of the game. That offensive player of the game is brought to you by Universal Roof and Contracting. RJ, let's do it now. The Universal Roof and Contracting offensive player of the game.
Universal Roof and Contracting presents the Offensive Player of the Game. Universal Roof and Contracting. The difference is universal.
Leon Searcy, 4 grabs, 47 yards, and a touchdown for Brian Thomas Jr. in his NFL debut. He is this week's Offensive Player of the Game.
Great game. Absolutely. Great game. Rookie year. Came in and shined. Back of the end zone touchdown. In the second half, I would have liked to have seen a lot more balls go to him. You went to him early on in the first half. The second half, I don't think he got another deep shot.
No, he didn't get anything.
He didn't get anything. I mean, a lot of that's attributed to the pressure by the offensive line as well. But I'm just saying, if the kid is shining, give him the ball. Let him get the ball.
That was disheartening. It was frustrating. The offense coach can look so good in the first half and just so pedestrian, particularly after the Etienne fumble. Even before the Etienne fumble, you know what? When it's 17-7, you get that field goal at the end of the half, right? All the momentum going into the second half. You get the ball coming out of halftime, and you have it for 90 seconds. You go 3 and out. You got to punt it. At that point, you're just like, uh-oh. And it just never clicked in the second half for whatever reason.
Yeah, and of course, I was in the league for a lot of years and watched it a lot of years prior to that. And I've seen an awful lot of games where in the first half you jump out to a big lead, then all of a sudden at the end of the game it's 1 point, differential, and guys fighting at the end of the game. So that necessarily doesn't surprise me. To be honest with you, the game itself really comes down, as I've said many times, to 4 or 5 plays. And if you make them, you win. If they make them, they win. And they made some plays. But really, to be honest with you, in that second half, we're saying, I want to watch the tape. I want to watch the 22, the where you see the whole game, whole field. Because I really think at the end of the game on the sacks, that some of that was coverage sacks too. So, we can kick the offensive line's tail, which I agree with Leon. There was some indecision there on the tackles part, but it could have been a little bit of coverage as well why he didn't get the ball.
Here's what troubles me, Coach, is that you go into halftime, you got all the momentum, you kick the field goal, you're up 17-7, you get the ball back. I mean, now is not the time to take your foot off the gas.
No, exactly.
And that's the way I felt about this team. I felt that the Dolphins, they felt desperate. They had to come at them. They came in attack mode. It was almost like we were comfortable. I mean, when they give you that kind of energy, you got to give it back. On my offensive line, we got after it a little bit in the first half. We ran the ball effectively between the tackles, outside the tackles, and all that kind of stuff. Then when we get in the second half, for whatever reason, we just think they're going to lay down, and we don't match their intensity. And then next thing you know, we're getting punched in the mouth. We don't know how to react to it. Yeah. And that's the unfortunate thing about it.
And plus, I've always felt that, in college football, for example, you go in at halftime. If you stop, let me put it this way. If you play against a team getting ready to play a team in college, if you stop their best 5 plays, it doesn't matter. You probably have a pretty good chance of winning. In the NFL, if you stop their best 5 plays, you go in at halftime, you got experienced coaches in there and experienced players. And now when you come out in the second half, all of a sudden that experience shows up because those best 5 plays turn to 5 different plays.
Yeah.
Now you got to stop that. So it's a combination of not being the pedal, the foot on the pedal, and the combination of them doing some things defensively that they didn't do in the first half.
It was a disappointing loss. There's absolutely no question about that. 20-17, Miami over Jacksonville. To the phone lines we go, 641-1010 here on the 5th quarter. The first call of the year, and the honor's got to go to Junior, right? In Buffalo, it almost has to. Junior, another year of the 5th quarter. How are you?
Hey, gentlemen, how you guys doing? What a way to start the first call of the season for me with you guys. It was depressing. There's nothing at least to say. It looked like to me most of towards the end was just mental errors on the players, coaches, and then the fatigue of the game just got to them towards the end, and they just fell apart. Sometimes we end up getting out of there and get a win, but this, unfortunately, they didn't. Like I said, this is just game 1. I really want this game to win this game, but again, those mental breakdowns really got to me. We always hope to talk about how good the defense. We all talk about this defense came out and played, and I want to be talking about how good this defense was and how they won, but we can't. We just got to regroup, come back against the Browns next week. I guess it's only get 1 game. Let's go. We've got to keep going and try to get this mental breakdown fixed and keep winning. Thanks, guys.
Look at it this way. In 2022, the year the Jaguars went to the divisional round of the playoffs, they lost on opening day. Last year, the Jaguars missed out on the playoffs. They won on opening day. So opening day doesn't necessarily tell the whole story, The problem in this situation, at least it wasn't a division opponent, because that would have been the worst case scenario. A game like this could really cost you in January when it comes to tiebreakers and stuff. And hopefully that'll be a conversation. Hopefully the Jaguars are in a conversation where they're worried about tiebreakers in January. But I hope that we're not looking back on this game 4 months from now saying, damn, if they would have just won that game, they would have this seed or they would have this home field or et cetera. That's the concern. Again, you weren't going to go 17-0. Not going to break any news there to you. You weren't going to go 17-0. You're probably not going to go 16-1. So you're going to get angry at some other point this year, probably numerous times. But it feels like you let one slip through your fingers today.
Well, I think we showed today as a team, even though we didn't finish the way we need to finish, I think we showed that we're a better football team than we were a year ago.
I agree. That's
my opinion.
Yeah, that's why I say, on Wednesday we'll just have a deep breath and you'll kind of realize that it maybe isn't as bad as it seems right now.
Yeah.
Because the reaction on social media is what you would expect. People are pissed and this, that, and the other. Frustrated.
Rightfully so.
Yeah, rightfully so.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to Jacksonville Beach. Let's get Paul in here on 1010XL. Paul, what do you got?
Hey, let me tell you something right now. I used to live in Philadelphia, and Doug Peterson got fired from the Eagles because he wanted to stick with Press Taylor. Now, Press Taylor is the problem. You idiots in Jacksonville think this idiot that won a Super Bowl, he should never have won that Super Bowl. Belichick needs to be hired as the head coach, and Leon, seriously, pay your child support.
Oh, all right. Dump that. Yeah.
I don't have any child support. All my kids are grown.
Yeah, Paul. And you know what's funny about that? Paul waited 33 minutes to say that.
Just to be a complete idiot.
I wish I had
calling this guy's idiots.
I wish I had
him.
33 minutes to just waste my life away in doing that. But Paul, we appreciate the call and thank you for listening, my friend. Hope you have a great afternoon. To the south side we go. Let's get Gary in here on 1010XL. Gary, what's going on?
Hacker, my friend, you had a tough couple weekends with the Miami teams.
Thanks, Gary. Really appreciate that.
Hey, everyone's going to blame Etienne, but you mentioned Christian Kirk and the drops, and look at the third down. Miami was 8 of 16 on third down. Jacksonville 2 of 10 on third down. And like you guys said, you're up 17-7. Trevor Lawrence has spent all that money. You got to go down. You can't go 3 and out on your first 2 drives. That's what set the stage for the defense to tire late in the game and for my Dolphins to come back. And it wasn't just Cleveland. The entire state of Ohio, Hacker, as Jerome Morrow gets a big W in his coaching debut with the Patriots over the Bengals.
Gary, appreciate that. Yeah, it was an interesting day with the Bengals losing to the Patriots. The Bills almost lost to the Arizona Cardinals. Leon, you played in the league over a decade, man. It's the National Football League. Like Coach says, 4 or 5 plays decide almost every game.
It's parity. That's what makes the NFL so great. I mean, teams that you think, you go into the season, you say, this team is going to be terrible, they're going to suck or whatever, and they come out with victories. All right, it's all about the game plan. It's all about the execution, I mean, and it can be sometimes where you may mentally think because of that logo, they weren't so good last year, and they come out and put a whooping stick on you. So that's why at the NFL, every game is important. Every opponent you got to take them seriously. You can't, like I was telling the coach, you can't let your foot off the gas. When you got a team down, you got to run them over.
Doug Peterson, back to the coaching for a moment, was very lucky that Sanders missed that field goal. Going forward on 4th down from your own 32-yard line at the end or the beginning of the 4th quarter, after Tyreek Hill had just scored, that to me seemed like a panic move. Now, we're not really going to discuss it that much because it really didn't cost Jacksonville because of the missed field goal, but that's a head scratcher. I mean, what are you doing going forward in that position?
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of a shocker to me. The guy at the San Diego Chargers or the L.A. Chargers, whatever they are, got fired last year for going for it.
Oh, Brandon Staley.
In their own territory.
Yeah.
At that particular point in the game, the defense was playing pretty good. I don't know why he did that, but
you try to get momentum back on your side. That's the only thing I could think of.
But all I know is we used to talk about 3 things that have to happen in a ball game. You don't let them score in a 2-minute drill before the half. You don't let them score in the last 2 minutes of the game. And number 3 is sudden change. You have to play sudden change. So even though he missed the field goal, the defense created that situation by forcing the field goal after that sudden change. So, that's a plus for our defense for sure.
Leon, explain a world to me where Evan Ingram gets 1 catch for 5 yards. Coming off a 114 catch season, he's voted team captain. They just didn't really throw him the ball. It was bizarre.
I didn't understand it. I mean, we were talking about what late in the third quarter before he got the catch or something like that. I mean, I thought he was a healthy scratch, to be quite honest with you, because they didn't even go in his direction, and I'm sure he had to be open in some occasions. I mean, listen, that's going to be fixed. That's the reason why you watch film. That's the reason why you come and watch film, and I'm sure that's going to be a pressing issue moving forward. He's got to get touches. I mean, he was Trevor's. Well, listen, when Christian Kirk went down last year, I mean, he was his guy. He was his go-to guy. And then, for whatever reason, Trevor was trying to get the other guys touches. But that guy is a phenom at that position. When you have over that many catches, he's got to get the ball. He's got to get touches.
I go back to it, Coach. Ingram 1 catch for 5 yards. Kirk 2 critical drops. 1 drop for sure. I think he should have caught the second one.
Right.
And then the fumble by Etienne. And it still took a 53-yard field goal to beat you. I mean, that's, again, another silver lining.
And 2 plays over 60 yards against you.
Yeah.
I mean,
literally, Kirk and Ingram in particular may not have a worse game the rest of the year than they did today.
Do you remember last year, one of the ball games, Kirk caught like 6 balls for, I don't know how many. I don't know if he had 100 or not. The next game, he didn't get any. And the big talk that whole week from the coaches was, well, that's our fault. We need to find a way to get the ball to Christian Kirk.
Yeah.
Here we go again.
Because we were talking about forcing it to Ridley, and that's why you weren't going to Kirk.
Right, exactly. Mm-hmm. So this is a coaching thing as well, Leon. Mm-hmm. But some of it may be that he just I have to watch the 22. I can't see it that well downfield on TV. So, I want to watch the 22 and have a better idea of why that happens.
Let's go to the state of Alabama. Let's get Jonathan in here on 1010XL. Jonathan, what's going on?
Oh, my gosh, that was a heartbreaker.
You've had a rough start to the football season, my friend.
Except Alabama's winning, other than that.
What were your thoughts on the game?
I thought that they should have got Ingram the ball more. I mean, to get targeted only 1 time, I mean, he was basically your go-to guy when Christian Kirk went down last year. And I didn't agree with them going for it on 4th down back in your own end. When did that happen? The 4th quarter?
Yeah, the beginning of the 4th quarter, yep.
I didn't like that call at all because if I remember correctly, I believe Miami scored on the next when they got the ball back.
Jonathan, appreciate it. They actually missed a field goal, so Doug Peterson won't get the grief that he probably deserves on that one.
Won't be talking around it much.
And I'm not even going to go. I'm not even going to say this. I'm not going to say it. So I'm going to save myself the grief, and I'm not going to say it. But the plays, or at least the production on plays on offense, were vastly different in half number 1 than half number 2. And I'm going to be curious as the week goes on, just what happened. Why can the offense look that smooth, that, in tune, and then in the second half, is it just simply a first-year defensive coordinator and Anthony Weaver made unbelievable adjustments, or was there something more to it?
We couldn't run the ball, bro. In the first half, the reason why we were so productive offensively, Coach was saying it. We could run the ball and play action.
Well, let me ask you this. Why could we run the ball in half 1 and could not run the ball in half 2?
That is the question. That's the million-dollar question. I mean, the lack of intensity up front. For whatever reason, they didn't. The same way they got after it in the first half, they didn't get after it in the second half. Because if you know going into the game that you got to run to set up the pass, then the offensive line, it's encompassed upon the offensive line to buckle up and say, hey, listen, this is why we were effective, and this is what we need to do in the second half. And for whatever reason, like I said, we pulled our foot off the gas. We didn't match their intensity, and we got pushed back. And when you can't run the ball and you can't play action, then this team struggles.
In the drive that we got the fumble in the second half now, on that drive, we had number 4 had a run for 26 yards. We had a pass for 23 off of play action. Then we ran a pass for 12, and then we ran the ball and got 8. So we were running the ball in that drive. So they did run the ball some in the second half.
Yeah, just nothing after the fumble.
I don't know what happened after that fumble. Then all of a sudden it was throw, and when they did run it, they didn't get anything. So it's like Leon said, all of a sudden the aura came off us.
Just
whatever. We lost our stinger.
Lost our edge, Coach.
It leads the mind to wonder how you can be so successful doing it for so long and all of a sudden then just not successful at it. 641-1010, Michael, John, Sean, Kevin, all you guys hang in there. You'll be up on the other side. We're also going to give you a defensive player of the game. It is the Window World of Northeast Florida, fifth quarter. We are presented by Von Rowan Law. All phone calls tonight are courtesy of the Garber Auto Mall phone line. We certainly appreciate them as well. Miami 20, Jacksonville 17, the Jaguars 0-1. Again, I'm all about silver linings tonight. This is a more positive hacker. 2022, the Jaguars made the playoffs. Lost opening day. 2023, the Jaguars missed the playoffs. Won on opening day. Just some food for thought. Back after this, 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Wherever you go, there we are.
I know. I checked online.
1010XL is on your smartphone and tablet. Download our free app for all devices and take us with you around Duval and around the world.
Does the building you go to work in every day need a little love and attention? Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Great companies take great care of the buildings their staff and customers walk into every day. If the building you're in doesn't match the vision you have for your company, we can help. Go to performance-painting.com. Our highly trained team makes the difference. Quality coatings applied with pride.
Performance Painting! Want to be up close and personal with the Jaguars as they take the field? Here's your chance to be in the shadows, outside the Jaguars locker room, now called the Vault. Enter today at everbank.com/shadows. One winner and a guest for every home game at Everbank Stadium. No purchase necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of 50 United States and D.C. 18 and older. Entry periods for the Shadow Sweepstakes promotion from 8/19/24 to 12/15/24. For official rules and complete details, visit everbank.com/shadows. Sponsored administrator, Everbank NA, member FDIC.
Clearwater. John, I can't even mow my side yard. It's so soggy. Man, my builder sucks.
Brent, calm down. This is a common problem in neighborhoods where houses are built too close together. You need gutters and a properly installed French drain that will soak up subsurface water. We can completely dry it up.
So I can take my builder off my speed dial now, huh?
Yeah, we got you, buddy. Let that builder bitterness go.
Clearwater Irrigation and Drainage too.
Beeson's College Football Guide delivers betting previews of all 134 teams with best bets for the playoffs, Heisman Trophy, season win totals, conference winners, and much more. Only on Beeson. Pro subscribers get the full guide, but you can download your free copy of the guide right now. Featuring a betting preview of the Gators, Seminoles, and Bulldogs at 1010XL.com. That's 1010XL.com. 1010XL.com. Download your free copy of the guide right now.
You know, car accidents are scary. That split second before impact when you try to drive your way out of it, but you just can't. And suddenly your life changes forever. Your long-term medical outlook doesn't resemble the healthy future you had just seconds earlier. You can't swerve to miss the pain either. If a car accident has left you hurt and afraid, call 396-5555 now. It's time to turn your fear into fight. Farah and Farah, Jacksonville.
Everyone who puts on a high school football uniform dreams of Friday Night Glory.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist, Friday Night Lights.
Join Hacker and Andrew Gibson, presented by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning on 1010XL.
Universal Roof and Contracting has been protecting Florida homes from the elements for over 30 years. Call Universal Roof and Contracting today for a free roof inspection and get 15% off your roof repair or replacement. Plus, flexible financing options and payments as low as $115 a month. This offer expires September 30th. Call 855-ROOF-HELP.
License number CCC 1330747, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com.
Before termites attack your home or business and cause costly damage, Terminix it. At Terminix, we know how to stop termites. These destructive pests have been around for millions of years, but before they show up, so do we. And their time is up. Don't live with a termite problem? Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online. That's TerMinix.com. TerMinix.com. Terminix it.
Jags fans, a new Everbank Performance account could be your ticket to London this October. Through the Everbank London Getaway, one lucky winner and a guest will receive round-trip airfare, hotel accommodations, and a pair of tickets to see the Jags play in London. To learn more and for official rules, visit everbank.com/London. No person necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents in 50 United States and D.C. 18 or older. Entry period for the Everbank London Getaway Suites is from 8/5/24 to 9/5/24. To enter and for official rules, alternate method of entry, prize description, odds of winning, and other details, visit everbank.com/London. Sponsor and administrator, Everbank NA.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Bringing you an extra quarter of football.
The window world of Northeast Florida, fifth quarter. Presented by Von Rowan Law on 1010XL.
With the head coach Dave Campo and the Pro Bowler Leon Searcy, the hacker Ryan Green with you. Miami, a 20-17 winner today over the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jaguars come home for the home opener next week against Cleveland. Cleveland will be licking their wounds too. They're down 27-10 to Dallas late in the third quarter. We will keep you updated. Every week here on the fifth quarter, we give you a defensive player of the game. That defensive player of the game is brought to you by our friends at Superior Fence and Rail. RJ Saunders, let's do it right now. The Superior Fence and Rail defensive player of the game.
Jacksonville's building a fence along the goal line. This is the Superior Fence and Rail Defensive Player of the Game. Superior Fence and Rail, where quality matters.
Leon, I thought it was a good day for a lot of defensive guys. Now, one of the sacks he got credit for is kind of a joke because it's about a 6-inch loss. But Trayvon Walker on the other sack completely bull rushed the Miami offensive line. I think he got through two guys to get into Tua and knocked Miami out of field goal range. So he is credited with two quarterback sacks in week number 1. That gives Trayvon Walker, 15 career sacks roughly for his career. Yeah. And he's getting better as the week goes on. So we'll give Trayvon Walker the defensive player of the game.
Oh, he was outstanding. Now, the first one he fell into, but the second one, the hump move, that he had the offensive lineman on his toes, and then the effort while he was going down to still reach out there and get his ankle and get the sack on him. It was a outstanding move by him. So, I mean, the second one was amazing, the way he got after the quarterback.
And he played the run pretty well today.
He did.
I think that's, he's going to be a good player all year.
Back to the phone line, 641-1010 here on the fifth quarter. Let's head to Fernandina. Let's get Michael in here on 1010XL. Michael, what do you got?
Hacker, Coach, Big Thirst, much love to you guys. I listen every day. Licking my wounds after the loss, but on a more positive note, am I looking through my teal color glasses, or is Brian Thomas Jr. special? Thanks, guys.
He had a special day today, and again, I don't know why they didn't go to him in the second half. My only thought would be Miami did something to bracket him because I don't know why they didn't go to Brian Thomas after what he did in half number 1. But having said that, 4 for 47 and a touchdown is a pretty good rookie debut.
Well, see, that's even more discouraging if they did bracket him in the second half because that means they got more one-on-one. Now they got one-on-one coverage against the guy. So now you got to just beat that one guy to get open. So that's more of a discredit to the guy's second half if they were bracketing him to where he couldn't get the ball and why these other guys couldn't get open.
I'm really looking to see that 22 to see what happened, because, again, on TV, they focus on the front seven. You really don't see what's going on in the secondary until the end of the play. The guy's wide open. Well, why is he wide
Until
open?
Tyreek Hill's in the end zone 80 yards down the field.
Yeah, I saw where Cisco didn't quite go get that one, but that I want to see the whole thing. But really, I think what he did today is he showed what he's capable of. Mm-hmm. I think the guy's capable, as the season goes on, of being a 100-yard receiver. I mean, he's got speed. He's got run after catch. He's got really good hands, in my opinion. And he's going to force some pass interference penalties.
And I like his moxie and his swag, too, when he beat Ramsey on that play.
Yeah.
He started jawing at him a little bit. He probably said, old man, don't hold me, old man.
Yeah, right.
He had to say something to him. I like that about him.
I like Brian Thomas. And look, we're talking a lot of positive about Brian Thomas. The negative is going to be Travis Etienne and Christian Kirk. How about a pat on the back for Gabe Davis?
Yeah.
His Jaguar debut, 3 catches, 62 yards. You get 3 for 62 out of Gabe Davis every week, you'll take that all the time. So I was very positive with both Brian Thomas and Gabe Davis. And ironically, the 3 guys that are the foundation, Kirk had 2 drops, Etienne the fumble. And I can't really blame Ingram. They just didn't throw him the ball for whatever reason. That has to be fixed and fixed next week. Back to the phone lines. Let's go to the state of Pennsylvania. How about this? Let's go to Sean here on 1010XL. Sean, what's going on?
Hi, how's it going? I'm a first-time caller. I just wanted to say that the defense played great today. I'm proud of them after the last game last season against the Titans. And I want to touch on the second half rushing woes. To me, it seemed that they stopped giving the ball to Tank, who was rushing more aggressive and was the more physical back today. And then they started giving the ball to Etienne, who then fumbled, and that led to everything else. And the fourth down call, I think, wasn't very bad. I just think they should have thrown the ball instead of rushing it in that situation because we were doing much better throwing the ball throughout the game.
Sean, appreciate it. I don't know why when you have the lead, when you go for – now I get the momentum was all on Miami's side, but you're on your own 31-yard line. And again, it didn't cost you because the Dolphins missed the field goal. But again, that was baffling to me why Doug Peterson would do that.
Yeah, well, Coach, I'm going to ask you this question. We didn't have analytics back in our day or whatever. At one particular point, the analytics and just common sense, well, I mean, you got to know in that situation – where your defense is playing stellar, not to give them a short field. Now, analytically, it says, it's positive in your – but at some particular point, this common sense would tell you not to go for it. I mean, am I right or wrong?
No. I think you're right. I think, in that situation, and I'm old school, going – as a defensive guy, I hated the call, just from the standpoint that, I'm feeling pretty good on the sidelines. If I'm Nielsen, I'm feeling pretty good on the sideline the way things are going against a team that's supposed to blow us out. That number one offense in the entire league last year. I just think that people are going for fourth down a lot more now because analytics tell them that you got a chance. It's, whatever it is, but some of it has to be a gut feeling and a you got to feel really good about your play call. In other words, you set up those situations ahead of time. For example, if it's if you're on the 1 yard line going in or a 2-point play, you've got to play that you feel pretty darn good about whatever they do. We have a chance to get this in. And to me, I hate it. First of all, you got stopped going forward on 3-and-1. But I would, if I was going to go for it, I'd have tried it again to try to go at them. Because when you go to the perimeter in that situation, especially when it's a flat perimeter, not a quick screen or something where you get the ball out there and let the guy on open field do something. Yeah. Those defensive guys are coming off the ball on 4th and 1.
You know what it kind of reminded me of? Obviously, it didn't have the same result. The Chargers play in the playoffs.
Yeah.
They went to the perimeter, and it worked that time.
Yeah.
But obviously it didn't work today. And look, Miami gets a paycheck too. Last time I checked, give them a little bit of credit. That Miami defense stiffened up there in the second half.
Yep.
We've been to Pennsylvania, we've been to Buffalo, we've been to Alabama. Now let's go to Savannah, Georgia. Kevin up here on 1010XL. Kevin, what's going on?
Oh, good afternoon. You've touched on it a little bit. The Peterson-Taylor offense, I don't know who to put the blame on. It seems like they kind of like to play the middle of the road. They come out conservative after the half. They have a history of that. They get a little momentum and they come out conservative and don't take the shots downfield or nothing. And it kills. Also, what they also do an awful lot. We'll have a good run play, 2nd and 2, 2nd and 3. I mean, sometimes you got to take a shot. And Jacksonville, their regime never seems to do that. I mean, I watch all the time. This is a good chance to do it, and they don't do it. Everyone talks about how great the defense played. They had a good first half. The second half, maybe they were tired. They were motorboated. They were blown off the line of scrimmage 3, 4, 5 yards. 6 yards. I mean, at 9, it was really bad. I didn't like the way the middle of the defensive line looked in the second half. I don't like to talk about penalties, but there must be a new rule that I missed in the offseason that the offensive line can hug the defensive lineman. I saw Miami holding so much. I mean, I don't know. And the last thing I want to talk about is Cisco. Cisco's going to hurt you one big play every game, every time he plays. And he is – I see why they got Gibson now, because I'm telling you, this guy was missing the whole game until he was smoked.
Kevin, appreciate it. I actually didn't – and, Coach, you can speak on this better than I can probably, but I didn't think Cisco was having a terrible game. And the Tyreek Hill thing, I don't necessarily know if that was Cisco's fault. He was over the top. I mean, I think that was Darby that was underneath. And, by the way, that is Tyreek Hill. And now, if you're Cisco, you got to get that guy on the ground. Hill catches the ball. If Cisco would have gotten him on the ground, you get him down on the ground at the 30, give your defense a fighting chance to hold him to a field goal. So that one, I would blame Andre Cisco on that. But Tyreek Hill is going to do that to you. He's going to go to the Hall of Fame for a reason.
Well, I saw the end of the play on the replay, and it kind of came from the end zone, and he was only a few yards away from him. He didn't react. That's why you get upset. He reacted a little late. Then he would try to catch him. He couldn't catch him. Not very many people are going to catch him. But, he ran away from Darby, and they had all day on that one. There was no pressure on the quarterback whatsoever. But I would have thought that he'd have been able to drive the football there. It wasn't like he was 10 yards behind, everybody. He was in position to maybe go get that ball, and he didn't react.
Halftime on the fifth quarter, 1 hour down, 1 hour to go. We'll take you to 8 o'clock tonight. Leon, really quick, we haven't talked about this yet. Tyson Campbell left the game with what appears to be a hamstring. Same issue that he had last year. It's another soft tissue situation. And if you know anything about hamstrings, and you played in the league over a decade, the idea that Tyson Campbell is going to be ready for next Sunday is probably not realistic with a hamstring. I mean, what do you do? I heard your former teammate Fred Taylor, who had soft tissue injuries when he started, saying you got to try anything. Acupuncture, massage, hot tub, you just got to try anything so these soft tissue injuries don't keep popping up, because this is becoming a problem for Tyson Campbell.
Yeah, and it's got to be frustrating for him because he got the big contract, got the big deal. He had his issues last year with injuries, soft tissue issues, those kind of stuff. So, I mean, they can linger, bro. I mean, if you don't take care of them, bro, they can linger for 2 and 3 weeks, and now you find yourself in situations where you play a half and then you pull it, or you may not be able to be in the game because you still got issues with it. So he's got to rectify this. He's got to do whatever he does on his off time to make sure he doesn't have these issues. Because when he's in the facilities, they're going to make sure they take care of him. But he's got to do some stuff on his own as well.
Now, Coach, let me ask you this. Again, we don't know this, but we're not naive to the fact that if it's a hamstring, the idea of him playing next week is probably not a good one. You got Trey Flowers, you got Christian Braswell on the practice squad. Who would you bring up?
Well, there's no question in my mind. From what I saw in training camp, I'm bringing Flowers up. I mean, I think from an experience situation, you may go with Monteric Brown, but you got a guy in the wings that kind of like Edmonds.
Yeah.
In the safety position.
Mm-hmm.
You got a guy with experience. I think I'd go that direction. I think Braswell, I don't think that Braswell showed enough outside. He did most of his work at nickel. And I'm not sure that I trust him out there as much as I do Monteric Brown, to be perfectly honest with you. But Flowers, I've seen him run. He can run still. He's long.
He knows Nielsen's defense. He was with him in Atlanta last year.
He's a press guy.
Yeah.
He's a press guy. So that's who I would personally. Again, I don't see him every day. I say that all the time. They'll make the decision based on what they've seen every day from the guy.
Phone lines open, Jacksonville, 641-1010 is your phone number. We're with you till 8 o'clock. If you want to get in, recap the 20-17 loss to the Miami Dolphins, you are more than welcome to do so at 641-1010. With Leon Searcy and Dave Campo, the Hacker Ryan Green with you, coming back with a special teams player of the game and so much more with you for another hour here on the Window World of Northeast Florida, fifth quarter. We are presented by Von Rowan Law right here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Hey, Jaguars fans, as the official whiskey of the NFL, it's not a kickoff without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. And that's why we've built the Crown Royal Rig. An absurdly awesome 18-wheeler delivering the generous spirit to stadiums and tailgates across the country. Follow the Royal Rig on its journey from city to city, bringing together local cuisine, NFL legends, and the opportunity to pack a purple bag for charity and win tickets to Super Bowl 59. Visit crownroyal.com for rules and more, and please drink responsibly.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
We're back. Mia here, and winning season is back. Football is back, and MyBookie is here to make sure you're ready to cash in on the action. This season, MyBookie is pulling out all the stops with incredible promotions, like weekly risk-free boosts on Thursdays, where you can bet without a sweat. If your bet hits, you win big. If it doesn't, forget it. MyBookie will refund your wager. That's just the beginning, folks. MyBookie is giving away hundreds of thousands in prizes with their Super, Survivor, and Squares contests. Get your entries in now for your shot at huge cash rewards. For a limited time, they are bringing back the double deposit bonus. When you're ready to get started, just use promo code 1010XL to claim a bonus that doubles your money on your very first deposit. You heard that right. Double your money with promo code 1010XL before you even place a bet. Not to mention, loyalty pays off with MyBookie Plus. The more you play, the more you win. Climb through tiers of loyalty rewards programs to unlock even more epic promotions. Only with MyBookie.
Injured in an accident that's not your fault? Don't worry, Zach's got your back. I'm Zach Von Rowan at Von Rowan Law, and over the past 20 years, I have fought to recover millions for my clients throughout Jacksonville. If you've been injured in an accident, have mounting medical bills, can't work, don't worry. Zach's got your back. I will fight for the compensation that you deserve and will be there every step of the way. Go to Zach'sGotYourBack.com to set up your free consultation with me today. Zach'sGotYourBack.com.
Give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. Teach a man to fish. And he's listening to the Nimnicht Outdoor Show.
With tips and stories.
Presented by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning.
Every Saturday morning, 7 to 10.
On 1010XL.
SportsForecaster.com has all the data you need to project tomorrow's winners. Register for free and track the performance of all your favorite players and teams, including all your fantasy team picks and prospects. Sports Forecaster has the most detailed player profiles on the web, precise depth charts, every transaction, every injury, every news update. No ranting or raving, no preening or barstool bluster. At SportsForecaster.com, you get the timely info you need for every game. SportsForecaster.com. Sign up for free today.
Jags fans, a new Everbank Performance account could be your ticket to London this October. Through the Everbank London Getaway, one lucky winner and a guest will receive round-trip airfare, hotel accommodations, and a pair of tickets to see the Jags play in London. To learn more and for official rules, visit everbank.com/London. No person necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of 50 United States and D.C. 18 or older. Entry period for the Everbank London Getaway Suites is from 8/5/24 to 9/5/24. To enter in for official rules, alternate method of entry, prize description, odds of winning, and other details, visit everbank.com/London. Sponsor and administrator, Everbank N.A.
This is the flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM and FM. Jacksonville Beach. 1010XL. Home sweet home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Dempsey. Here in North Florida, you know that when temperatures go up and your AC goes out, you need help now. Like right now. Like lickety-split. So why not call Lickety Split and get same-day emergency service for your AC? Now, I bet you've seen their trucks all over town because they've got dozens of certified technicians ready to repair not only your AC, but your home's plumbing and electrical too. So when you want it done right and you need it done right now, call Lickety Split AC, Plumbing, and Electric.
With deep pockets and huge resources, truck companies may think they can get away with a small settlement after an accident. But at Farah & Farah, our team isn't afraid to go toe-to-toe with them, to fight for every penny you're entitled to under the law. If you've been in a truck accident, call Farah & Farah. Put our big truck experience to work for you. Jacksonville.
Introducing Gatorade Water. Alkaline and electrolyte infused for great taste. Gatorade Water, always in motion.
Find it at your local Winn-Dixie. For the athletes who give everything, nothing beats Gatorade, the studied, tested, and proven fuel of the world's greatest athletes. Gatorade Water, proudly supporting high school sports on the First Coast.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. This is the window world of Northeast Florida fifth quarter. Presented by Von Rowan Law on 1010XL.
Yes, it is. Every week here on the fifth quarter, we give you a special teams player of the game. That special teams player of the game is brought to you by Crown Royal. RJ, let's do it right now. The Crown Royal Special Teams Player of the Game.
Now, it's time to showcase the Crown Royal Special Teams Player of the Game. Live generously and life will treat you royally.
Not the most glamorous thing, Leon Searcy, but when your punter averages 52 yards per punt, Logan Cook was sensational today. You could have given it Cam Whittle, too, making his first field goal, which was a long one. So honorable mention. But we'll give it to Logan Cook, who I thought was absolutely terrific today.
I mean, you may tease it because of the punter, but when he can flip the script and flip the field on you, and you got to go, instead of going 70, you got to go 80, 90 yards. It makes it a lot more difficult.
By the way, the Dolphin punter was crazy good, too.
He was good. And let me tell you something. If I was a drinker, I think I'd have a couple of those Crown Royals
after this
ball game.
Well, you might need some of those. No question about it. Let me update you on the late games. The Browns come in here next Sunday. They're getting crushed right now. They're down 30-10 to Dallas in the fourth quarter, so it looks like it's going to be a battle of two 0-1 teams here in Jacksonville. Jim Harbaugh wins his debut for the Chargers. Chargers have beaten the Raiders 22-10. The Seahawks are about to beat Denver. Seattle up 26-13. And the Buccaneers are about to beat Washington. Tampa Bay is up 30-14. Both of those games are late in the fourth quarter. 1 hour down, 1 hour to go. We're at 8 o'clock right here on the fifth quarter. Your phone calls at 641-1010. Let's go to Ortega. Let's get Dan in here on 1010XL. Dan, what's going on?
Hey, Smacker. Hey, Coach Leon. I was going to say, I don't understand how they took the game out of Trevor's hands. We just paid him $275 million. Press Taylor decided to stop passing the ball, run soft sweeps. Anton Harrison was hitting cream pie on the right side.
Let's dump that. No, PG show, Dan. PG.
I appreciate that, Smacker. But, yeah, we just kept getting dominated in lines of scrimmage. Trent Baalke did not address that, and we just couldn't do it.
Dan, appreciate it. A lot of passion here on the fifth quarter. Anton Harrison was probably not good today. Leon, you're the best right tackle in the history of this franchise. What advice would you give the young man going into week number 2?
Learn from it. Watch the film. Let the coaching staff be critical of you because you didn't play well, especially down the stretch when they need you the most. That's the most disheartening thing about the offensive line. When the team needs you down the stretch the most, you don't step up to the plate. That's what's frustrating to me. And Anton resorted back to some of his rookie ways. And that's unfortunate because I thought he was ready. And listen, one game does not make a season. All right? So hopefully the coaching staff is going to be critical of his play. He's going to go out there and rectify it in practice, and you won't see that same stuff come this week.
Coach, to the Press Taylor aspect of this, fans are going to be looking to go after somebody, and they go after Press Taylor. It's what they do. Again, we don't know the entire dynamics of it. The Jaguars have been kind of interesting with that, who's calling plays, who's not calling plays. I know in the past the talk has been, whether it's been true or not, at least the rumor out there, that both Doug and Press call plays during the game at different times. If that's true, I don't know that. That's just the rumor that's been out there. But no question, what I'm reading on social media from Jaguar fans and based on our callers tonight, it seems like Press is getting more of the blame than Doug. Do you believe that is fair?
You know, I think that's frustration. It's a little bit like blaming injuries for losing. The play calling in that ball game, I don't think was a factor.
So you didn't have a problem with the play calling in the second half?
Not really. I mean, I kind of went through some things with you.
By the way, Coach's notes are unbelievable. He's got just pages and pages of notes. All right.
Well, I kind of read this, Leon. You were out of off the air. That in those drives that they went 3 and out down the stretch, there were some runs in there that were pretty good. So to me, there were just some blocking mistakes in the second half that were more important than what play was called, to be perfectly honest with you. It's kind of like Harrison not doing what he's supposed to do. There was a couple of situations. Harrison got a holding call on a running play. You know, the guy snuck inside of him. He had to grab him on a zone play. So he didn't get off on the ball. So I'm not as concerned with the play calling. And I don't know which one's calling the plays. I don't really care because I think they're both on the same page. So let's just play better. That's the key.
Yeah, as a player down the stretch when your team needs you, I always had this model: don't let you be the problem. Don't let you be the person that gives up the holding call or misses the block, because it's a fine line. You're talking about 5 guys who it's like synchronized swimming. These 5 guys, if they're not in tune with one another, if one guy is off, it all goes to you know what. So, I mean, that's what we saw. You saw breakdowns in certain areas when earlier on during the game, they were flawless. The blocks, getting outside, running through the middle, all that kind of stuff. Just need more consistency with it. That's all.
Back to the phone lines. Let's go up to St. Mary's. Let's get Craig in here on 1010XL. Craig, what's happening?
Fellas, where do I even start? I've got a few things. Maybe this is for Surse and Coach. The second half, Etienne fumbles that ball going into the end zone, and our team was deflated. Like, we couldn't do anything from that point moving forward. Is that a Trevor Lawrence supposed to calm the team down? Do we call timeouts there? Does the coaching staff get involved? That was one of the main takeaways that I saw. Once Etienne fumbled that ball, and last season, the first game, Tank Bigsby fumbled the ball going into the end zone, and we didn't see him. Etienne's back in the game. He was ineffective when Bigsby definitely had a better game. And number 3, Mike McDaniel reminds me of a dude who's never been punched in the face. How do you wear those sunglasses and those pants showing leg in the middle of an NFL game? And I'll take my answers off the line.
Mike McDaniel's an interesting guy, but he's also a very good football coach. The Etienne thing is interesting. Reverse the roles. If that's Tank Bigsby that fumbles that ball today, oh my gosh. Can you imagine the reaction in this fan base? Yeah, but because it's Etienne, you might give him the benefit of the doubt. The one thing I'll say about Etienne, Christian Kirk as well, Josh Hines Allen, really a lot of the guys, Evan Ingram, if you listen to their post-game comments, they're mad, which is good, right? Mm-hmm. But Etienne's like, I got to be better. I have to be better. That's absolutely on me. I got to be better. Christian Kirk's like, it's not good enough. I'm a better player than that. You could tell that, I don't know, Leon, in years past when this team lost games, they would make, excuses. I didn't hear a lot of excuse making in that locker room today. I heard some anger and some frustration, which you're trying to look for silver linings. I'd rather a guy be pissed off than make excuses.
Yeah, but be pissed off during the game. Yeah. Listen, unfortunately, stuff like that in the NFL happens. You know what you have to do? Get over it. You know what the defense should have said? Defense would have said, hey, Etienne, you good. We got it. We're going to get y'all the ball back. That's leadership. Bad things happen in the NFL. Guys throw interception. Guys give up sack. Guys fumble. You know what happened? Get over it. All right? Don't come to the presser and tell me that you're pissed off. Show me that on the field. You know what? The defense, when he fumbled it, react to it. Offensively, get the ball back. Hey, Etienne, don't worry about it. We're going to score this time. That's the kind of conversations you should be having. Not, woe is me. Oh, what are we going to do now? Because the hell with that. Get over it. Stuff like that happens in the NFL. You're supposed to have enough leadership on this team to where you can transition and say, okay, it happened. Let's deal with it. Let's get the ball back. Let's go down and score. That's what I want to hear. I don't want to hear this stuff about you being mad now at the presser. Be mad on the field and make something happen.
Now, as a former head coach in this league, I mean, you see this in, Pee-wee football, maybe high school football, maybe college, quite frankly. I don't know how much you see it in the NFL. After something as dramatic as the Etienne fumble happens, I mean, do you circle the guys around and say, hey, keep your head in the game. Let's go. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Because you didn't really see any of that, and you could tell the air was let out of the balloon on that sideline when that happened.
Yeah, well, momentum is real. I mean, you see it every week. Something happens bad and then things turn. That's part of the game to where you as a coach, and I think it's more of an individual coach with his players than it is the head coach in a lot of ways. You have to zero them back in to say, hey, okay, it happened. Forget about it. Just like Leon said, let's go. Your responsibility is to make sure you do the best that you can do. Momentum is tough.
If you are looking ahead to next week, Cleveland is getting boat raced at home. Jacksonville lost a heartbreaker. Who's the more desperate team here on Sunday?
Well, hopefully we are. I mean, this Cleveland, listen, first of all, the Miami Dolphins defense was decimated. They had injuries all across the board or whatever. You got a Cleveland Brown team that last year was #1 in the NFL, all right? And by the way, Myles Garrett is a beast, all right? Those sets, this is my memo to Cam and Anton Harrison. Them sets that you got away in Miami ain't going to work against Myles Garrett come next week. You need to rectify it, or it's going to get ugly.
I heard Fred Taylor on the earlier show, and he talked about, chocolate chip as opposed to chocolate crunch. And he said, when you got a guy that's like Phillips, for example, that has done some good things, he prefers the chocolate crunch. There's a little bit more chocolate in that chip on that guy from one of your backs.
Mm-hmm.
Well, with Myles Garrett, they better be chipping or chunking, because I'm just watching a little bit on the TV as we're going through the show, and he's running by guys like this. They're standing still, and now they're starting to chip them.
Yeah, two teams that expect to be pretty good this year, Cleveland and Jacksonville. One of them is going to be 0-2 after next Sunday, so it's a big game at Everbank Stadium, no question about that. Let's go to Callahan. Let's get John in here on 1010XL. John, what's happening?
Well, gentlemen, I was quite a bit disappointed on this game. However, I do have question marks on 4th and 6. You're going to hand the ball off. Wouldn't you put it in the hands of your quarterback? I mean, I would if I had total faith in Trevor. I mean, I just question the coach's decision on that, and I'll leave it with you.
Yeah, I mean, look, the short yardage, as sure as the sun will rise tomorrow and the sun will set this evening, I'm just at the point now where Jacksonville is just not going to be very good in short yardage. That's just the reality of the situation. For whatever reason, now they did score the one, right? Etienne did score at the goal line, but it wasn't a 4th down play. 4th and 1 for this football team, or a critical 3rd and 1, man, they can't do anything in those positions. Nothing. Miami had a 4th and 1. You just line up the fullback and plow it ahead for a 1st down like it's nobody's business. And yet Jacksonville coach cannot seem to do that.
Yeah, we're just not a rocket off the ball offensive line. I mean, it's very simple to me. When you're in that situation, maybe you do have to throw it. But I guarantee you, if they threw it on 4th down and 1 and it was incomplete, then you're really going to hear it from the fans and the media and everybody else. So it's 6 of one, half a dozen of another. You got to trust your guys somewhere along the line, and obviously we're just not very good at it.
That's an indictment on the offensive line.
Yeah, heck yeah.
You got to pull up your big boy pants to get it done. Bottom line. Bottom line, Hack. That's all. It's bottom line. You got to find a way to get a stalemate. Not that 4th down. I mean, you're giving up penetration. If you get a stalemate, 9 times out of 10, we're going to get that yard. If we get blown off the ball, bro, if the running back is getting the ball and he's got the guard or he's got the center in his hip pockets, he can't run the ball. He can't get the yard, and that's what's happening. I mean, listen, this is not new to us. We knew interior of the offensive line was the issue going into the season. Mm-hmm. And right now, again, when we needed it the most, it bit us in the rear end.
That is Leon Searcy. He's the head coach, Dave Campo. I'm the hacker, Ryan Green. You are the city of Jacksonville, and most of you are probably hurting tonight after a Dolphin 20-17 win over the Jacksonville Jaguars. We'll kind of go down the rest of the scoreboard here in a little bit, what transpired in week number 1. Look at it this way. The Colts lost. The Titans lost. The Jaguars lost. Houston won, but either Houston or Indy won. By the way, Indy might be – I mean, Houston beat them 29-27. Anthony Richardson was pretty good today. But the Texans 1-0. Every other team in the division 0-1. How about this for the AFC North? Baltimore lost, Cincinnati lost, Cleveland's about to lose, Pittsburgh's the only team that won. So just like everybody predicted coming into the year, Pittsburgh will be all alone in first place after week 1 in the AFC North ahead of Baltimore, Cleveland, and Cincinnati. The Window World of Northeast Florida fifth quarter, we're presented by Von Rowan Law. We'll give you a drive of the game. Also, your phone calls, Keith, JR, James, Jabril, all you guys hang in there. You'll be up on the other side as we roll on till 8 o'clock right here on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Sports sounds better on radio.
I love it. I love it.
You get the most live sports on 1010XL.
Joe C. for Hard Rock Bet, Florida's only legal sportsbook app, and they're so stoked for the kickoff of the season. You know why? Because never before in September have you been able to legally bet on football. This year, for the first time ever, people in Florida can bet on ball. College kicks off this weekend with a big bunch of games, and all you have to do to get started is download the Hard Rock Bet app or go online at hardrock.bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. WM is the largest sustainability company in North America. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Your services will be completed in a timely, safe, and eco-friendly manner. Go to WM.com, and get signed up today. If anyone can talk trash, it's The Mangler. Go Team WM, and as always, Duval!
Don't make a bad call when it comes to servicing your home. Cooling off with a baby pool in the house to fix your air conditioning problem is a bad call. Trying to catch a wave in a flooded bathroom is a bad call. Using a burning electrical panel to make s'mores is a bad call. The next time something goes wrong, make a good call to Donovan.
Whether you need air, electric, or plumbing service, Donovan is always a good call. It's why we've been trusted by our customers for almost 40 years and why you can trust us to deliver fast, reliable service to your home. Donovan, always a good call.
Visit DonovanAC.com today.
Have you tried golfing at the improved Cimarron Golf Club? If you haven't, tell you what, you're missing out on the best deal in Jacksonville. Now, many of you have received a postcard in the mail, and of course, if you bring that with you, $45 plus tax to play. That includes a cart, lunch, and a beer at the brand new Stone Barrel Tap House. Now, go to the website, that is CimarronGolfClub.com, and sign up for the Wild One Loyalty Program. That's the Wild One Loyalty Program, and get all of these specials emailed to you from Cimarron.
This is Hacker. Join me for the Gator Bites podcast presented by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists with new episodes every Wednesday. Subscribe and listen by searching for 1010XL Florida Gator Podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or TuneIn.
Hey everybody, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods. Dandy subs and sandwiches. Look, we always want you to think about those great options as you're driving around Duval. But the beauty is, even as I'm dropping pounds, Dandy's got great options for me as well. Told you all about their protein packs, delicious salads that they have out there. They have fruit cups for on the go. You know what they have. Veggie snack trays. You can grab those on the go as well. Perfect, healthy snack. Dandy is the name to know when you're on the go. So stop into a Gate store anywhere around Duval and make yours a dandy, and do it today.
Navy Mutual was created by service members for service members, so we know what it means to serve. Our policies have no active duty service restrictions, so you can rest assured that you're covered no matter your duty station, home or abroad. To go even further, we promise that premiums will not be higher for those who serve in dangerous environments, including aviation, diving, or on deployments. Let us help you protect those you love the most. Learn more at NavyMutual.org.
Hey guys, this is David Garrard, and I want to tell you about Clearwater Irrigation. They put my new sprinkler system in at my new home at Jack's Beach, and I couldn't be happier. Oh, hey, John.
What's up, Dave? You know what this means. You're going to have to sing.
Man, I can't sing.
Then you'll fit right in, buddy. Clearwater Irrigation. We can't sing a lick, but we sure are good at sprinklers. Hit it, Dave.
And drainage, too.
ClearwaterJacks.com.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel will help you start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks. Words and phrases you'll actually use. So when someone asks, "How's your French going?" you can say,
Babbel facilite grandement l'apprentissage d'une nouvelle langue.
Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
Duval. Jaguars football is officially back. Be there for the Jaguars 2024 home opener when they go head-to-head with the Cleveland Browns. Join us as we celebrate Hispanic heritage and take the field at Everbank Stadium for the first time during our 30th season. Lock in your seats now for the 1 p.m. kick by going to jaguars.com/tickets or call 904-633-2000. We can't wait to see you back at the bank.
Hey everybody, Jennifer Marion with Randy Marion Cadillac in Jacksonville here to say hello, and we'd sure like to have your business.
You know what? They're going to love the king of price.
My dad believes in making great deals and having a great selection in stock.
Cadillac XT4s, XT5s, and XT6s, and Escalades.
The all-electric Cadillac Lyriq.
CT4s and CT5s.
Cadillac luxury and selection is just waiting for you.
At Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
And don't forget, tell them Jennifer sent ya.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville, the window world of Northeast Florida, fifth quarter. Presented by Von Rowan Law on 1010XL.
Trips to the right and a shotgun for Trevor. He drops the throw. Looking. Trevor fires for the back of the end zone, and that ball is going to be caught for the touchdown by Brian Thomas Jr. What a throw and catch. He tiptoed along the end line. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
Brian Thomas Jr. with the touchdown. That was a great play for the rookie for the Jacksonville Jaguars. That gave them a 14-0 lead. Didn't matter, though, as the Miami Dolphins come back to win the game 20-17. Every week here on the fifth quarter, we do give you a drive of the game. That drive of the game is brought to you by Randy Marion Cadillac and RJ Saunders. Let's do it now. The Randy Marion Cadillac drive of the game.
Now, the Randy Marion Cadillac drive of the game. Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville. Drive to the game in luxury with Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville.
I'm calling an audible at the line of scrimmage here. I'm actually going to audible to the first touchdown drive. Anytime you go 96 yards, that needs to be the drive of the game. Travis Etienne capped that off with a touchdown. A 6-play, coach, 96-yard drive that took 3 minutes and 18 seconds off the clock. First touchdown of the year results in this week's week number 1's drive of the game.
Yeah, well, it would have been Etienne going in the end zone. Because
that would have been like a 97-yard drive. Yeah, they almost had two 95-plus yard drives for touchdowns.
Yeah, that's what's so disappointing about the way it wrapped up. Because, it's just a shame, really.
Now here's my thing. I get the sense, correct me if I'm wrong, just reading your body language, the vibe, the zen I'm getting from Coach Campo, 3.5 hours after the game is over, you're still not over it. I got to be honest with you. I think this has been a fruitful exercise for me for the last 90 minutes. Plus, I did the 1010XL Jaguars YouTube program with Gus and Tommy Mack. I feel better now than I did at 4 o'clock. And it's going to come down to Cleveland next week. If they lose Cleveland, then you're in a lot of trouble. 0-2 going to Buffalo, to Houston. But I was very upset at 4 o'clock. Now, talking about it for about 2 hours, I'm still upset. It's still disappointing. But there were a lot of positives there. And my question to you, both you guys, well, actually, Leon, we'll begin with you because the players are going to have to do it. When will they get over this, and when will they turn their attention to a huge game next week with Cleveland? Do you want this to eat at you for about 24 hours?
No. You'll get over it once you watch the film. When you lose a game that you think you're supposed to win, you're going to watch the film and you're going to look at particular plays to where this could have happened or that could have happened. It could have changed the trajectory of the game. So the film session is going to be important on both sides of the ball. Offensively, you're going to look at the fact that you missed a block here, shouldn't have gave up a pressure here. And the coaches staff, the offensive coordinator always pinpoints that if you give the guy a little bit more time, look what this guy is open or that guy is open or whatever. So that's going to be the most frustrating thing, the offensive coordinator, when he tells the offensive line or this, that, hey, give us this much time, that guy's open. Or you missed that block here, this guy would have been out the gate. So I think once you watch the film and see how close you were, then after you do that, then you'll be moving on to Cleveland.
Coach, what's the Doug Peterson message to the team when they arrive to the Miller Electric Center tomorrow?
Game number 1, we had an opportunity to win. We didn't get it done. Let's get back to work. Point out, like Leon just said in the film, take the criticism, and let's roll. Because I do believe that when you lose a game, you can do less ripping than when you win a game. So to me, I think it's just a case of saying, hey, this isn't like we lost our last game last year and we're out of the playoffs. It's our first ball game. We got a good team coming in here. They're going to be fired up. We got to be fired up. We have to win at home. Let's take care of our business.
Cleveland will be 0-1. Jacksonville will be 0-1. Somebody staring 0-2 in the face next Sunday. Let's go to Ormond Beach. Let's get Keith in here on the fifth quarter. Keith, what's going on?
I'm devastated like everybody else, but I agree with you, Hack, that I'm an avid listener to every show and every game. I watch every game for 20 years, and I don't feel terrible about this loss, but I just have two questions. Does anybody have any idea what happened on that pass that he threw to Kirk? Like, it looked like he was trying to throw the ball away. I have no idea why he threw that one so high. And the other one is, why don't we roll Trevor out more? I mean, I know they say they want to run first, but I think they should be throwing first. You got 5 legitimate quality receivers, including the tight end. Why don't we roll out and throw first, and then the defense got to be worried about that, and then run? I don't know. That just seems like, to me, what we should be doing, but I'm not giving up. So,
Keith, appreciate the phone call, but they did roll him out on the first play of the game. They rolled him out right into Calais Campbell's hands there. The mayor of Saxonville with a little payback for the Jaguars. And look, I agree. I like Trevor on the outside. I don't know why they don't do it more, but having said that, they did it on the first play of the game, and it resulted in a 13-yard sack.
Well, I mean, listen, anytime you're on the road, you gotta establish the ground game. You don't want to be one-dimensional. I mean, that rollout to Trevor, I mean, that was like a welcome party to the Calais Campbell on the first 2 plays. He had negative loss. He had a sack and he had a tackle for loss or whatever. I don't know if y'all were giving him a present or whatever, but it was unfortunate to see. But no, you can't be one-dimensional on the road. You got to establish the ground game effectively. And me speaking, the offensive lineman, the last thing you want to be doing is pass protecting like 50 to 60 plays a game. You want to get revved up and run the ball at least. So, I mean, they did the right thing in trying to establish the ground game because that set up, like Coach was saying, that set up the play action. When you can run the ball and you can set up the play action, you're going to have big plays. What happened on that throw to Christian Kirk was that he had pressure on him right away on Cam Robinson. Mm-hmm. As soon as he came around the corner and he was almost pressed into his face. I wrote down too much pressure. That's why the ball went out high.
And look, they ran 51 by my count offensive plays. They dropped back to throw it 25 times. They ran 26 times. Balance. That's the balance you want. Now, we got on to them a lot last year about throwing it too much or whatever. Mm-hmm. If you're running 51 offensive plays and it's a 26 to 25 pass to run ratio, it's hard to be upset about that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. At the end of the game, they were still running the football to try to set up a play action, but they never went to the play action.
Yeah.
That's the one I don't understand. They had 2 situations there where they took sacks that were regular drop-back passes. So
let's head to my neck of the woods, to Mandarin. Let's get JR in here on the fifth quarter. JR, what do you got?
Thanks for taking my call. I'll be quick, man, and I know we all trying to be positive and everything like that, so I'll try to be gentle, but I'm very disappointed. I'm not happy at all. The problem is with you and me and everybody else that you keep hearing calling in, we all got conditioned to the losing. We all used to this. You've seen this. Heck, you've been watching this football and calling this. You've been a lot of these fifth quarters, but no, let's be positive. But I guess we got to be honest and just be what it is. Keep talking about Christian Kirk and that pass that threw. What about the one that hit him right in his hands? Let me tell you something. I ain't been a fan of Christian Kirk since he's been here. It looked like that same play that hit him in the hands when we was in Kansas City playing there, and that pass hit him in the hands. The very next year when we played Kansas City here, that pass hit him in the hands. Let me tell you something. I'm tired of him. The man talking about why he threw it so high because he too little. I don't like throwing it to him. I ain't been like throwing it to him. Y'all talked earlier about, all the people they've been throwing money around to left and right, but they never paid the right guy. And I'm going to be honest, ever since the dude left, I know it's water under the bridge and it's old, but this team ain't paid the right people since they've been here. They just let Jawan Taylor, and I want to stew on it for a minute because I've been trying to harp on this. They let that man walk like nothing, and ever since he left, that's the last time we was in the playoffs too, by the way, when we had Jawan Taylor. Chiefs saw how good he was, coveted our man. We let him walk like nothing. That dude is a good player, and not only is he a champ, a okay? You ain't found a replacement for him. It's been a domino effect on that offensive line since. That's why we can't run. That's why we can't do nothing. And the fact that you wouldn't try to secure that, man, knowing you had Trevor Lawrence in the wings is a problem. But guess what? You better figure it out because you paid everybody else. You're paying all these other dudes. I'm a fan of Trayvon Walker, to keep it positive. I'm a fan of that, man, because I'm going to see if y'all got money for him. I hope he gets 25 sacks this year and make you pay him because guess what? Theoretically, he's next because he was the number one pick right after Trevor. So I'm pulling for him. He had a good game today, and I hope he continues to have a good game. But he messed up not signing Jawan Taylor. Look at the good teams who don't let their players walk. Look at Jamar Chase. You think they're letting him walk? No, but we just let you. And not only this, we drafted him, and he might be the last good Florida Gator player to come out. And I'm very disappointed that all the people in this town who are Florida Gators, y'all was all okay with just letting them push him out the door.
JR, appreciate it. JR's passionate right now, all right?
I like it.
So,
yeah.
All right, nothing against JR, and we appreciate the phone call.
Right.
Let me literally go to the best right tackle in the history of the Jacksonville Jaguars for some analysis. Were you okay with them letting Jawan Taylor go and compare Jawan Taylor versus Anton Harrison?
Well, I mean, listen, Jawan Taylor, his last year, his contract year, he had an outstanding season, all right? It was economics. I mean, you had just paid Cam Robertson a big deal. I think a 3-year deal worth what, $60-some million, and Jawan Taylor was asking for 80 or close to $100 million, and they just saw fit that would be much cheaper. Kind of like the reason why we let Ridley walk. We let Ridley walk because he got 90. We brought in Brian Thomas. It cost us a lot cheaper.
By the way, Gabe Davis more receiving yardage than Calvin Ridley today. Hope you're hearing that up there in Nashville.
Absolutely. And so you let Jawan Taylor walk with 80, and then you draft Anton Harrison. It was going to be much cheaper. I don't think it was anything personal. I appreciate the call because I didn't know Jawan Taylor had that much effect upon us, quite frankly. But Anton Harrison struggled today, and I think if you play this game long enough, you're going to struggle. Hopefully he'll bounce back next week.
Jawan Taylor struggled in the game the other day.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And this isn't the second coming here over there at that tackle position now.
Yeah. Thank you, Coach.
Yeah, look, I mean, nothing against Jawan Taylor, but I don't know if you need to be that passionate about something that happened a year and a half ago.
I like that gentleman's pace.
I do, too. I love the passion.
I love it.
But maybe channel it to the guys that have been here for, I don't know, the last 18 months and not a guy that left in March of 2023. With Leon Searcy and Dave Campo, the hacker Ryan Green, one segment to go. James Jabril, I promise you, if you stay on the line, you'll be our last two callers of the night. We appreciate your patience. We'll kind of set the scene for Cleveland coming in next week. The Dallas Cowboys are putting the finishing touches on beating Cleveland. It's been a rout. So Cleveland will be 0-1. Jacksonville will be 0-1. You don't want to start 0-2. So it's a big game here at the Bank next Sunday. More to do. We'll wrap up the fifth quarter next. 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
You already know. It's your boy E to the T, and winning season is back. Football is back, and my bookie is here, baby, to make sure you're ready to cash in on all the action. This season, my bookie is pulling out all the stops with incredible promotions like weekly risk-free boost on Thursdays, where you can bet without a sweat. If your bet hits, you win big. If it doesn't, forget about it. My bookie will refund you your wages, but that's just the beginning. My bookie is giving away hundreds of thousands in prizes with their Super Survivor and their Square contest. Get your entries in now for your shot to win huge cash rewards. For a limited time, they're bringing back the double deposit bonus. When you're ready to get started, use my promo code 1010XL to claim your bonus that doubles your money. Double your cash, my boy, with that promo code 1010XL before you place every bet. And now loyalty pays off. With my bookie, the more you play, the more you win. It's simple. My bookie is the lock of the century. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere, and make this season your winning season. Come on, somebody.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool? Today's contestant, a dust bunny breeder from Jacksonville, Florida, meet Steve Johnson. Welcome to the show, Steve.
It's great to be here, Alex.
Yeah, you don't have to answer in the form of a question, Steve.
What is this game show?
See, that's another question.
Are you going to ask me about air conditioners?
Yeah, okay. How about we just send the Bueller guys over and you can annoy them with all your questions? Johnny? That's right, Steve. Bueller Air and Plumbing can answer all your air conditioning questions. Repair options, replacement models, and how to make your AC last longer while saving electricity. Making sure you are cool.
Where is the parking lot?
You're killing me, Steve.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Hey, Jaguars fans, as the official whiskey of the NFL, it's not a kickoff without the generous spirit of Crown Royal. And that's why we've built the Crown Royal Rig. An absurdly awesome 18-wheeler delivering the generous spirit to stadiums and tailgates across the country. Follow the Royal Rig on its journey from city to city, bringing together local cuisine, NFL legends, and the opportunity to pack a purple bag for charity and win tickets to Super Bowl 59. Visit crownroyal.com for rules and more, and please drink responsibly.
If you're tired of your fence looking like a bad hair day, well, it's time for a fence makeover with Superior Fence and Rail. They'll make your yard the talk of the town with a new fence installed by their expert team.
Your fence is fantastic. My fence is giving all of my neighbors some serious pick and envy. Thanks, Superior Fence and Rail.
So get off the fence and call Superior Fence and Rail for your fence installation project today.
SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
The average cost associated with childhood cancer is a startling $833,000. This is Tom Coughlin, and September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. Help the J Fund raise awareness to help our neighbors and community members tackling this devastating disease. Visit tcjfund.org/September for more information.
He was the best back in Jacksonville.
It has to be Fred Taylor.
Fred Taylor joins Dan and Jeff on The Drill, Monday mornings at 8:30.
A tough guy.
Monday morning running back with Fred Taylor is fueled by Epstein & Robbins DUI defense firm.
Homeowners, good news for you. Accent on 4. Listen up. Loan Pronto now has mortgage rates that start with a 4. Prosser here. It's true. Mortgage rates have plummeted. So low, we haven't seen them in a long time. If your current rate is over 6%, you can dump it and lower your house payment big time. Loan Pronto just locked in a homeowner at 4.99% APR. So whether you got your loan last week, last month, or last year, it's time to call Loan Pronto. Even if you're in process with another lender, stop now. Call Loan Pronto. Ask about their zero-cost rate reduction home loan. You can lock in a lower rate with no closing costs in a matter of days, with almost no paperwork and usually no appraisal. And if you act now, you can even skip your next 2 house payments. Call now. Loan Pronto can give you a rate quote in minutes with no hard credit pull and no upfront fees like those other guys. Call 904-999-1508 or loanpronto.com. Call 904-999-1508. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. Owner approved credit, MLSconsumeraccess.org.
Injured in an accident that's not your fault? Don't worry. Zach's got your back. I'm Zach Von Rowan at Von Rowan Law, and over the past 20 years, I have fought to recover millions for my clients throughout Jacksonville. If you've been injured in an accident, have mounting medical bills, can't work, don't worry. Zach's got your back. I will fight for the compensation that you deserve and will be there every step of the way. Go to Zach'sGotYourBack.com to set up your free consultation with me today. Zach'sGotYourBack.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville, putting an extra 60 minutes on the clock. The window world of Northeast Florida 5th quarter. Presented by Von Rowan Law on 1010XL.
Putting the finishing touches up on the first 5th quarter. We'll be right back here next week following Cleveland and Jacksonville. As always, here on the 5th quarter, we do give you an injury update. That injury update is brought to you by the law offices of Farah & Farah. RJ Saunders, let's do it now. Our law offices of Farah & Farah bring you this week's injury update.
The personal injury attorneys of Farah & Farah present this injury update. Farah & Farah,
Jacksonville,
exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The big one is Tyson Campbell. Left the game, did not come back, appears to be a hamstring. Leon, I'm no body language expert, but he did not look happy over there. A guy that had this injury last year, you kind of know that the odds of him playing on Sunday are probably not very good if it is a hamstring.
Yeah, and hopefully, it's something that he can rectify, but a hamstring can be lingering. It can be very naggy. And it can be a situation where you're not practicing, So anytime it takes away your ability to practice and ultimately playing games, it's very frustrating. Should be for him.
Let's grab a couple of calls to finish it out. We got James and Jabril will be our last 2 calls of the night. Let's go to the south side, get James in here on the 5th quarter. James, what do you got?
Hey, man, I want to finish the night on a negative note or anything, but
as far as being a fan and all that, and you're the media and all that, I want to ask Hacker, Leon, and the coach, were you hoping we would win, or do you really think we would beat Miami? I mean, they have Tyreek Hill, Waddle, all that great stuff as a running back. I mean, come on. So I'm so frustrated. It was a close game. We should have beat them. But did you really think we were going to win, seriously, in your heart? I mean, come on.
James, appreciate it. Come on, man. What is that? That's what is that, like Monday Night Football, right? They go, come on, man.
No.
I picked Miami to win the game.
Okay.
I picked Miami to win the game on Thursday on Hacker After Dark. Now, when it's 17-7 and Travis Etienne's got a beeline for the end zone and he's 6 feet from pay dirt, well, yeah, my thought at that point is they're going to steal a game here. But no, I am not surprised they were 0-1. I did pick the Dolphins to win.
Well, I think me and Coach picked them, the Jaguars to win. I thought the Jaguars would come in there and assert themselves, play against a very good Miami team. They were a great team last year, but it's a whole new season. It's 2024, baby. And I thought this Jaguar team was going to answer the bell, and they were close enough. And when they watch the film, they're going to be frustrated because they're going to see they're going to miss the opportunities on both sides of the ball where they could have won the game.
I'm more concerned about the Cleveland Browns, as ugly as they look this week, because I thought we were going to win, because I think Miami is a finesse, soft football team.
Mm-hmm.
That's my opinion, and I'll stick to that opinion. That's why I'm so frustrated, because I thought we upped our physicality in training camp. I think it paid off in some areas, because I did think we did run the ball effectively enough during the course of the game. And I think we tried to keep it balanced. But when you fumble the ball going in, that was the difference in the ball game. I knew Hill would make some plays, but that should never have happened. So to me, I think this team coming in from Cleveland, if they're going to be mad, they will hit you in the mouth.
Yeah.
And so it's a little different situation to me. I thought we were going to win because I thought we were going to out-physical them.
And it is a final in Cleveland, Dallas 33-17. So the 0-1 Browns at the 0-1 Jaguars on Sunday. Final call of the night. Let's go to New York. How about that? Let's go to the state of New York. Jabril up here on 1010XL. Jabril, what's going on?
How you doing? My name is Jabril from Syracuse, New York. I love you guys. I just want to say that this was a good game. We just made a couple mistakes. The Etienne fumble, it happens. I think he learned a big lesson. Next time he gets in that situation, he'll know what to do with the ball. And another thing, I think that we learned something today with Tanks Bigsby. I think that he's taken a better step than he did last year. I really think that we're going to really need him to really step it up like he did this game next week against Cleveland, because right now we don't need Etienne to be rattled. And I noticed that Doug Peterson really does not want to use him that way. So I think that they're going to have to figure it out with Etienne, because right now it seems like Tank is going to be the guy to get the physical yards.
Jabril, appreciate the phone call. I would agree with all of that, except the same exact thing happened with Etienne in 2022. Fumbling going into the end zone. So you hate the history to repeat itself, but that seemingly is what happened. All right, 3 minutes to go. Sky is not falling. We'll end on this note. Coach, we'll give you the floor first. Just your thoughts. 0-1. It is what it is. You got to get a win next week at home against Cleveland. That's what it boils down to.
Well, I'm with you. When you talk about this ball game, I think there were a lot of people out there that didn't think we were going to be ready for this ball game. I felt we were, but there's a lot of positive that happened in this game, more so than a lot of them last year where we said, well, if we made this play or that play or whatever. There were a lot of good plays made in this game by this football team, and I'm hoping that they can put it aside and go forward.
Leon, seriously, you're a very positive guy. Your message to the fan base tonight?
Well, I mean, I said it earlier, one game does not make a season. This team has got to play well at home. If this team wants any shot at the playoffs, me and Coach, I always say this, you got to win the mass majority of your games at home, and then on the road, you got to go 50-50. If you do that, you go 7-1 at home, 6-2 at home, you go 50-50 on the road, more than likely that gets you in the playoffs. So this team just needs to come out next Sunday. It's against a very good defensive team, and they've got to establish their ground early on.
We got 60 seconds to go. Keys to victory against the Browns.
Run the ball, protect Trevor, play the same style of defense that you played against the Dolphins, get after the pass to stop the run. Deshaun Watson's struggling. He absolutely struggling. If you let him come in here and light us up, we are not the team that we thought we should be.
Coach, you echo those sentiments?
I couldn't say it any differently. I think we just gear it up and go and really take almost the same approach. Get that running game going, hit the play action passes, and on defense, I think this guy does an excellent job of attacking protections. So we've got to continue that.
Dave Campo, I'll talk to you tomorrow night on Hacker After Dark.
Yes, sir.
Leon Searcy, they'll hear you tomorrow on XL Primetime. You'll join me on Hacker After Dark on Wednesday.
Sounds good, bro.
For the head coach, Dave Campo, and the Pro Bowler, Leon Searcy, I'm the hacker, Ryan Green. This has been the Window World of Northeast Florida fifth quarter. As always, we're presented by Von Rowan Law. The Miami Dolphins 20, the Jacksonville Jaguars 17. Jaguars have a big one 1 week from today. Everbank Stadium, the home opener, Cleveland and Jacksonville. We will break it all down beginning at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. We will kick off 16 hours of local programming all the way up to 10 o'clock tomorrow night right here on your home of the Jacksonville Jaguars, 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Until then, good night, Jacksonville.